not been a very good start for either team in the Premier League so far. Okay, we've only had 2 games, but of course Liverpool only on 2 points, and Manchester United even worse. They're yet to get any points. So it's a very big game at any time of the season, but this time in particular.
Versus Liverpool.
Yeah, well, I think it's probably the biggest match in the Premier League, in the history of the Premier League. These 2 teams are so well supported around the world, and of course have huge histories and lots of success. But I was very excited when I got the invite. As I say, I'm normally doing my punditry in London, so this will be a new experience out here to do it in Jakarta. But I hope to present the game and to be the pundit in front of all those very passionate Indonesian fans who love the Premier League, who love football, and it's really my pleasure to come out here and to do that.
I hope you are enjoying as a new pundit, as a new experience. And the last questions: what do you feel about the fans' enthusiasm for the Premier League here in Indonesia?
Well, I think everybody in the UK and all over the world knows the passion that people here from Indonesia have for football and for the English Premier League in particular. So when I was a player myself, I used to get lots and lots of fan mail from supporters out here, and then of course been lucky enough to come and visit myself and see that passion myself. So it always is a pleasure to get the invitation to come out here. I'm very pleased to be out here, and I look forward to seeing that passion again. It's the start of the Premier League. We're only 2 games in, so it's really amazing to have such a big game so early in the calendar. But Liverpool and Manchester United are obviously the biggest game. So I'm so excited to do the game. I'm so excited to see the passion again of the Indonesian fans.
All right, thank you, Michael. Of course, you have a lot.
How much do you know about the Indonesian football? How passionate the fans, and also about the league? Because we know before there are several British players also play here, like Marcus Ben, Henry, also a former Premier League player like Odong Wingi Asian. So what did they tell you about Indonesian football? Thank you.
Well, I think I do believe that over the years that the Liverpool Manchester United game has been the most watched game around the world. Obviously both teams are very well supported, and both teams have got an incredible history. I think other than that, you look at games between Arsenal, between Chelsea, between Manchester City now, they're obviously becoming more and more popular. Tottenham are a very good team nowadays. Maybe the Arsenal-Tottenham game is a very big game. That's a local derby. So, but I don't think any of them compare to the Liverpool-Manchester United game for popularity around the world and for the past history. In terms of Indonesian football, I'm very aware that the youth team, and we were talking beforehand about the success of the under-16s team in the South Asian competition not so long ago, and of course you guys are going to be hosting the 2023 under-20s World Cup. I played in an under-20s World Cup. It was in Malaysia many years ago, and they're great tournaments, and it sounds like you've got a very strong team for that as well. So I wish you all the best for that competition. I'm sure the young boys are really looking forward to that. And in terms of the league, I think from what I've heard and what I've seen is that the league is getting more and more popular. You correctly say that there's been representation from English players, from Premier League players over here in the recent past, and it would be great to see more of that in the future as well. I know it's very popular with the fans. You know, big crowds come in to watch the games, big stadiums. So I think with more and more investment, better facilities, better coaching, hopefully that will eventually mean that you have a very strong league and a very strong national team. They normally go hand in hand with each other. So yeah, so I wish you obviously well with your continued success with football, and I hope it keeps growing and growing. And I think next year in particular will be a huge moment for Indonesian football.
All right.
My name is Adisti from BOLASPORT. My question is for Michael. Hi. I have two questions. given how both teams haven't shown their best in the first 2 weeks of Premier League, what do you think we can expect from both Manchester United and Liverpool for the upcoming game? And the second is, you're so used to being a pundit back in UK, and now it is your first time being a pundit in Indonesia. Do you have any special preparation for this special event for the next Tuesday? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for your questions. It's not been a very good start for either team in the Premier League so far. Okay, we've only had 2 games. But of course, Liverpool only on 2 points, and Manchester United even worse. They're yet to get any points. So it's a very big game at any time of the season. But this time in particular, it's very important. Liverpool, I feel, are playing okay, but they're struggling very much with injuries. And when you contrast that to last season, Liverpool had very, very few injuries throughout the season. It was one of their strengths. That they didn't have to rotate their squad too much, but now they're going to have to. There's lots of injuries, and I think that's the biggest problem at the moment for Jurgen Klopp. But it is early days, and they're still obviously a very, very good team that I expect to be challenging right up at the top again come the end of the season. Manchester United, the big change for them, of course, has been their manager over the summer. But unfortunately, so far, it's not changed their results, and their first 2 results against teams that they would be expecting to get points from have not materialised. So, 2 teams that are possibly not in the greatest form, even though it's early in the season, going head to head is very exciting. And in terms of my preparation for the game itself, of course, I have done lots of punditry work since I retired from the game. So. Quite well experienced, but never have I done one in Indonesia, so I'll be asking my colleagues some questions before the game. Of course, I will do my normal preparation, but I think it's important for me to try to give some insight. Learning about too many stats and things like that is probably, I think, for the presenter to do, whereas I think from a pundit's point of view, it's important to talk about what it feels like to play in this game, what are the differences in this game to any normal game, and try to get over my expertise to the viewer. So I look forward to doing that. Hopefully, it's always easier to do a game when it's a very good game, and there's lots of action. We can talk about lots. So hopefully it's a good game and it makes our job easier.
Dan berperan sebagai the official broadcast. Itu aja. Terima kasih.
Baik, terima kasih Pak Sutanto. Dipersilahkan.
Sebelumnya terima kasih karena pakai kaos Liga terakhir 2 ya.
Terima kasih Pak. Saya juga tidak tahu kenapa pakai ini. Mungkin udah ada berkata sendiri. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih. Jadi teman-teman juga jangan lupa hanya olahraga tapi Liga terakhir 2 ini.
Teman-teman bilang katanya mau dikasih voucher belanja Pak.
Oke, jadi tadi sudah saya katakan ya bahwa kita ini memang mempunyai 2 layanan. Yang pertama adalah layanan tidak berbayar atau berdasarkan iklan atau sebutannya adalah AVOD ya, advertising VOD. Lalu layanan kedua adalah SVOD atau subscription VOD. Nah, kita juga melihat bahwa di Indonesia ini olahraga sepak bola ini sangat-sangat populer. Dan memang harus diakuin, tadi saya juga sebutkan bahwa setelah kita melakukan berbagai studi, kita menanyakan apa sih konten yang paling dicari. Karena kalau kita bicara berbayar, itu kan tentu saja orang mempunyai ekspektasi yang lebih dan tuntutan yang lebih juga. Kalau saya udah bayar, saya pengen nih suatu konten yang lebih kualitasnya lebih bagus lagi dan seterusnya itu. Nah, jadi dari semua liga yang ada di seluruh dunia, kelihatan bahwa Liga Inggris ini adalah skornya paling tinggi by far mengenai minat dan kesediaan orang untuk melakukan penanganan kalau memang ada Liga Inggrisnya. Nah, jadi kita memberanikan diri bahwa memang ini merupakan suatu asosiasi yang perlu kita ambil dari kacamata video. Selama ini mungkin teman-teman sudah melihat bahwa komitmen video terhadap olahraga ini sudah luar biasa. Tadi sudah disebutkan oleh Bu Mon ya, secara rinci. Nah, jadi memang kayaknya itu masih belum lengkap kalau kita belum menambah IPL sebagai jajaran line up yang kita memang sajikan kepada masyarakat seluruhnya. Nah, dari situ tentu saja kita pun juga ingin untuk ngeblend antara penggemar olahraga dengan penggemar konten lainnya. Salah satunya tadi contoh original series kita. Nah, jadi kita berharap ini menjadikan suatu kelengkapan memberikan hiburan, karena kita juga melihat bahwa IPL pun segmentasinya mungkin agak berbeda ya daripada segmentasi kalau kita bicara contoh liga lokal ataukah juga misalnya pertandingan olahraga seperti F1, MotoGP ini mempunyai segmen-segmen yang berbeda-beda. Nah, jadi kita berharap ini akan memperluas segmentasi daripada masyarakat Indonesia yang memang mau untuk datang dan berlangganan di video.
Baik, terima kasih Pak.
Terima kasih atas pertanyaannya. Jadi seperti yang tadi sudah disampaikan oleh Pak Tanto juga ya, kami akan terus melengkapi penawaran-penawaran sports yang ada di video. Jadi misalnya di tahun ini kita akan menambah dengan adanya IPL, lalu di akhir tahun ini kita juga akan ada World Cup gitu. Nah, selain itu juga selain menambah sportsnya sendiri, yang kita utamakan juga adalah bagaimana sih enjoyment dari para penonton tuh saat berada di video gitu. Jadi kami makanya kami menciptakan banyak sekali fitur-fitur yang bisa menciptakan interaksi antara penonton dengan apa yang ditonton. Tadi sudah saya sampaikan misalnya selain fitur seperti stiker atau chats, kita juga ada feature gaming dan lain sebagainya. Jadi penonton tuh kalau datang ke video, mereka menonton pertandingan, tapi mereka juga bisa menikmati hiburan-hiburan lainnya dan juga bisa menikmati fitur-fitur yang membuat nonton sport itu menjadi sesuatu yang lebih menyenangkan, begitu.
Baik, terima kasih.
Well, top four I think is definitely Manchester City, definitely Liverpool. I think Tottenham this season are in very good shape, and I'd go for Chelsea as well. Arsenal are probably the team that could bounce into the top four this season, but I think before the season I thought those four teams, Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea and Tottenham, so I think that I'll go with those. In the bottom three, I've narrowed it down to 6 teams. Of course, you've always got to look at the 3 promoted clubs. They're at a disadvantage in many ways. They've not been playing at this level for maybe at least 1 year, maybe more. So I think you've always got to look at those teams and worry about them. Also, I think Southampton are potentially going to struggle this season. Everton, I think, got off to an average start, and I think that they may struggle this season. So I worry for them. And yeah, so if I was going to say now, I would say Fulham, Bournemouth, and Southampton would be my 3 at this stage that I'd be thinking might be in trouble. But of course, the Premier League is a long season, and there's still squads to be finalised. There's still transfer news and signings to be had, and then again with the World Cup this season interrupting the season, it's going to be a very strange season. But they would be my predictions at the moment.
Alright, thank you. Sounds like a pundit.
Terima kasih sudah menonton. Jangan lupa like, komen, subscribe, dan share konten BOLASPORTCOM.